Adoption for Bitcoin has been driven by bank failure. We saw in Cyprus when they did a massive bail-in, it zoomed past 1,000. We saw it during 2008 crisis when they gave birth to Bitcoin. The protocol is in defiance of the global banking establishment. This is why Bitcoin was created, to do battle with the central banks. As Saifedean Ammous writes eloquently in his genius book, The Bitcoin Standard, this is a new version of Bitcoin-based banking that will put all the other central banks out of business. People don't equate Bitcoin with money the same way that they equate gold with money. And that's false. Bitcoin is as much money. As a matter of fact, let me explain why Bitcoin is a superior form of money than gold. Okay? I'll do that right now. Both fiat money and gold are inferior to Bitcoin for one very simple reason, that with a Bitcoin transaction, it is also simultaneously the settlement. You don't have that with fiat, you don't have that with gold. If I do a transaction in gold, the gold has to be verified. If I do that in fiat, that fiat has a verification level, and we see that in the repo market. Because banks don't trust each other, repo rates are skyrocketing because you have to settle these trades. Until a trade is settled, it doesn't really count. With Bitcoin, when you do a Bitcoin transaction, the transaction is the settlement. It is the settlement. That's what makes it better money than gold or fiat. It's just as scarce, it's just as divisible, it's just as portable, it's just as desirable, except it has a built-in settlement layer. It is part of the transaction. That's what these frickin' guys don't understand. Like, Peter Schiff, he's completely clueless when it comes, because he's never spent even 5 minutes looking at it. He just mouths the same thing over and over and over again. He's an uninformed imbecile. I think it's just a matter of timing. So the forecast is still 100,000 plus, but let's be honest, in dollar terms, it's infinity, right? I mean, it could go to 5 million, 10 million against a dollar. Just like gold is making new all-time highs against currencies all over the world right now. It's, people don't report the fact that gold's made a new all-time high against the euro, against the pound, against the Indian rupee, against the South African rand, against the Russian ruble, right? It's made new all-time highs against all these currencies right now. Was the banks. The problem is what we call the Cantillon effect. When the central banks print money, it doesn't go into the real economy. It goes into Jamie Dimon's friends' pockets, who hoard that cash and buy Modigliani's for $150 million apiece. They buy, penthouses off Central Park for $200 million a crack. So that money is not circulating in the real economy because those guys are friends. Ben Bernanke now works for a hedge fund, and they just dial up the phone to these guys and say, send us another $1 billion, and it goes right into their pocket. I call it interest rate apartheid. If, in fact, you're a friend of Jamie Dimon, you're a friend of Wall Street, you can borrow infinite amount of money for 0% interest. If you don't have a friend on Wall Street, you got to pay 16% credit card, or you go to a payday lender, you're paying 2,000, 3,000% annualized interest rate. That's interest rate apartheid. We live in Bantustans of high interest rates unless you're a friend of Mnuchin or Jay Powell or Jamie Dimon. Then you can borrow infinite amount of money at zero. But guess what? China's saying, you know what? We had her up to here. We're pulling the trapdoor on the dollar. We got 20,000 tons of gold. We're introducing a gold-backed crypto settlement layer onto the global economy, and the U.S. can pound sand.
All gold they've mined internally.
They've been accumulating gold for years. You talk to folks like Alistair McLeod, who is a research director over there at Gold Money, who I respect highly. And he goes into the details. All those gold gang guys that I follow and you follow, like James Rickards and others, who have really put a lot of work into doing the research here, will tell you that China has been accumulating gold overtly but subvertly. You never see a gold bar.
We just can't get the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. But Pearl Harbor, the currency market, guess what? We own 20,000 tons of gold, and we're introducing a gold-backed crypto, and you guys you're ancient news, okay? Wow. This is a war foot of those funds is up over 600% in 6 years. So we're talking about the best performing crypto fund in the industry by far. It's probably the best performing fund in the world. I can't think of another fund that's up over 600% in 6 years. So I was talking to Mark Yuskow, who's over there at Morgan Creek Capital, and he's thinking about coming on as an advisor for Bitcoin Capital 4. So I think we'll raise maybe 50 to 100 million. It's going to be Bitcoin focused, second layer focused, and we're going to hopefully repeat what we've done before. That'd be the best performing VC fund in the world, bar none. Show me the numbers. I'm the king. I am the king. I get to wear clothes like this because I am the king. It's a non-starter, and the only thing it did is it educated Congress about why Bitcoin's great and why Libra is a non-starter. But he is I think, panicking because China, he realizes when they launch their gold-backed crypto coin that they're going to take over huge swathes of the global commerce business, and they're trying to desperately come up with something to compete.